Be me, 29F, senior HR business partner, mid-sized tech consulting firm, living in the city, overpriced apartment. Honestly, I love my job. People think HR is just paperwork. They're wrong. We are the architects of culture. We decide what is acceptable and what belongs in the dustbin of history. It's about power, sure, but it's about correcting power. Making sure the workplace isn't just a boys' club anymore. Wake up at 6:30 a.m. Green matcha latte, oat milk. Scroll through Twitter for 30 minutes to get my blood pressure up. See another thread about men in tech. Fuel for the fire. Get dressed. Power blazer, distinct don't mess with me. Glasses, look in the mirror. I look professional, fierce, unbothered. Commute is a breeze. Listening to a podcast about dismantling systemic oppression in corporate America. Get to the office. My desk is in the people ops corner. Best spot in the house. I can see everyone coming and going. My squad is already there. Hazel, 31F, marketing lead. Emily, 24F, junior dev. Jess, 28F, recruiter. We are the unspoken ruling class of this floor. Log into Slack. We have a private channel called The Queens, locked, invite only. It's where the real work happens. Hazel posts. He's wearing that god-awful polo shirt again. She's talking about Matt. Matt, 52M, Director of Operations. The walking embodiment of everything we're trying to phase out. He's not explicitly offensive, which makes it worse. He's insidious. White, straight, older, comfortable. Been with the company for 15 years. Knows where all the bodies are buried. Everybody in upper management loves him because he gets things done. But he's a relic. He calls everyone folks or team. Never uses pronouns in his bio. Smiles too much. It's that patronizing fatherly smile, like he thinks he's taking care of us. Gross. I reply to Hazel. Microaggressions come in polo shirts. Jess reacts with the vomit emoji. Emily, I feel like he stares at me when I present. I type back immediately, typing fast. That is the male gaze, Em. He's minimizing you, making you feel small so he feels big. Emily, yeah, you're right. It feels icky. Got her. This is how you build a case. It's not about one big explosion. It's about documenting the vibe, the atmosphere of exclusion. Lunchtime. Nat walks by our cluster of desks. He stops. Afternoon, ladies. Hope you're having a productive week. Ladies, my eye twitches. I smile, tight-lipped. Per my last email, Matt, we prefer not to be grouped by gender. Team is fine. He blinks. That confused boomer look. Oh, right. Sorry about that. Just a habit. Have a good one. He walks off. Hazel spins her chair around. Did you see that? I nod. The dismissal. The sorry about that non-apology. Hazel. He hates that you corrected him. You could see his jaw tighten. I didn't see his jaw tighten, but I trust Hazel's instincts. He's threatened, I say, leaning back. He knows his time is running out. We're the future of this company. Open a new Word doc on my second monitor. Title it Matt J Incident Log Confidential.doc, Entry 1. Use gendered language to address female staff. When corrected, demonstrated dismissive body language and refused to engage in constructive dialogue. Save. It begins. Spend the afternoon dealing with actual work, but my mind keeps drifting back to Matt. He manages a team of 12, mostly guys, 2 women. The guys love him. They go out for beers on Thursdays. Exclusionary networking. How can the women advance if the real mentoring happens over IPAs? I decide to do a temperature check on his department next week. Purely routine, of course, just to ensure psychological safety. Leave work feeling energized. Meet Hazel and Jess for drinks. $18 cocktails at a rooftop bar. We vent about the patriarchy. Hazel mentions Matt held the elevator for her and insisted she go first. It's benevolent sexism, she says, swirling her drink. He's treating me like I'm frail. I nod rigorously. It's a power move. He controls the entry, he controls the exit. He's asserting dominance while disguising it as manners. Jess, it's so creepy. We toast to that, to taking back the power. Go home, feed RBG, watch a documentary about cults, sleep like a baby. The crusade has a target now. Fast forward 2 weeks. The Matt J incident log is growing. It's all subtle stuff. That's the hardest stuff to prove, but the most important to squash. If you let the small stuff slide, you endorse the culture. Tuesday morning, raining heavily. Everyone is rushing into the lobby. I'm walking in with Emily and Hazel. Matt is at the front door. He's holding the heavy glass door open, standing in the rain, waving people in. Come on in, dry off. Nasty one out there. He sees us, smiles that big dumb smile. Afternoon, team. Get in here before you melt. We walk past him. I don't make eye contact. Hazel mutters thanks, but sounds like she's spitting poison. We get to the elevator. Hazel turns to me. He was performing. I wipe my glasses. What? The White Knight act. Standing in the rain, holding the door. He wants everyone to see him suffering for us. It's performative martyrdom. Emily looks confused. I thought he was just being nice. It's really pouring. I put a hand on Emily's shoulder. Sweetheart, think about the implication. He assumes we need his help. He assumes we are damsels. By standing there, he makes every woman who just walked inside look bad and makes himself the savior. It's manipulative. Emily's eyes widen. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. Hazel. Plus, he blocked the flow of traffic. He created a bottleneck just to get his ego stroked. We get to our floor. I go straight to my desk, update the log. Incident. Physically blocked building entrance to enforce gender roles. Created unsafe congestion in lobby during inclement weather to seek validation. It sounds clinical. It sounds actionable. Later that day, department vibe check meeting with Matt's team. Matt is not invited, just his direct reports. I sit at the head of the conference table, pen poised. This is a safe space, I tell them. Nothing you say leaves this room. I just want to get a pulse on the culture under Matt's leadership. Silence. The guys look at their shoes. One of the women, Linda, 40s, traitor to the cause effectively, speaks up. Matt is great. Best boss I've ever had. Flexible with my kids' schedule. Always fights for our bonuses. I nod, writing nothing down. Okay. Anyone else? How about interactions? Does he ever make you feel uncomfortable or lesser? Silence again. One of the guys, Dave, raises a hand. He buys us bagels every Friday, out of his own pocket. I write, creates financial dependency/obligation dynamic through unauthorized gifting. And does he buy bagels for everyone or just the boys? I ask, leading the witness. Dave, everyone. He puts them in the break room. I hum. And does he monitor who eats them? Dave looks confused. No? He just leaves them there. I write, unmonitored food distribution creating potential health anxiety/exclusion for those with dietary restrictions. I look at the younger guy, Kevin. Kevin is new, Gen Z. Look nervous. Kevin, you've been quiet. How do you find Matt's communication style? Kevin shifts in his seat. I mean, he calls on the phone a lot instead of Slack. Bingo, boomer tech refusal. Does that make you anxious? I ask softly. Yeah, kind of. Like, just text me, you know? A call feels like I'm in trouble. I nod sympathetically. So he utilizes high-pressure communication tactics that induce anxiety? Kevin shrugs. I guess. I write it down. This is gold. Meeting ends. I have enough to start the next phase. I catch up with Hazel in the break room. How'd it go? She asks. Better than expected. He's creating a culture of fear and obligation. The team is terrified to speak out. Except the new guy, Hazel, classic tyrant. He buys their silence with bagels. I laugh. Literally. Checking the Queen's chat, Jess found his Facebook. It's private mostly, but his profile pic is him fishing. Holding a big fish. Hazel. Phallic compensation much? I heart the message. Jess. Found a post from 2014. He shared a meme about grilling is a man's job. 2014, doesn't matter. The internet is forever, and it shows a pattern. I screenshot everything, print it out, put it in the growing manila folder. I feel a rush of adrenaline. This is justice work. This is cleaning the stream. Matt walks by the glass wall of the break room. He waves. I don't wave back. I just sip my tea. Enjoy your walk, Matt. The floor is getting slippery. 3 weeks later, the dossier is thick. Approx 40 pages of documented incidents. The door incident, multiple counts. The lady's verbal slip. The bagel coercion. The phone call anxiety induction. The phishing photo. Evidence of hypermasculine signaling. Testimony from anonymous sources. Emily and Kevin, paraphrased by me. I schedule a meeting with the VP of Operations and the legal counsel. VP is a woman, luckily. Carol, she's cool, very corporate climber. Legal is a guy, run-of-the-mill suit named Gary. We meet in the executive suite. I lay the folder on the table. We need to talk about Matt. Carol looks tired. Matt? He just delivered the Q3 project under budget. What's the issue? I adjust my glasses. Performance metrics are one thing, Carol. Cultural toxicity is another. We are risking a lawsuit if we let his behavior continue. Gary perks up at lawsuit. What kind of behavior? I open the file. Systemic gender discrimination, creating a hostile work environment, microaggressions targeting junior female staff. I pull out the specific sheet about the door holding. He repeatedly targets women to physically impede their movement, asserting dominance under the guise of chivalry. It's made several women uncomfortable. I don't name Hazel as the only one. I imply it's a chorus. Carol frowns. He holds the door? Jane, is this serious? I lock eyes with her. It is 2025, Carol. It starts with the door. It ends with women feeling they don't belong in the room. We have reports of him speaking over women, using gendered slurs like girls or ladies, and creating an exclusionary boys' club atmosphere with alcohol. The Thursday beers? Gary looks at the notes. He has a meme here from 2014. It shows deep-seated bias. I interrupt. Look, we're trying to hire more women in ops, right? How can we do that with a relic like Matt guarding the gate? He is a liability. If one of these girls goes to the press or tweets about the old boys' clubs at our firm, we are cooked. Carol taps her pen. She's calculating. Matt is useful, but PR nightmares are expensive. What do you recommend? She asks. PIP? Performance Improvement Plan? I shake my head. He's too entrenched. He won't change. He'll just get better at hiding it, and he'll retaliate against the whistleblowers. We need a clean break, restructuring, role elimination, or conduct. Gary reads the file again. If these witness statements are accurate, the anxiety, the feeling of being unsafe, that's harassment, technically. I nod. It is. Impact over intent, Gary. It doesn't matter if he means to be a creep. He is making the workplace hostile. Carol sighs. Okay. Bring him in, suspend pending investigation, then we terminate. I feel a surge of dopamine so strong it's almost dizzying. Victory. I go back to my desk. Message the queens. It's happening. Gifs of women drinking wine and dancing flood the chat. Hazel. Ding dong, the witch is gone. Emily. I feel kinda bad. Is he getting fired? I DM Emily separately. Don't. He had 15 years to learn how to treat people. You're brave for speaking up. She sends a heart emoji. 4 p.m. I call Matt to my office. He walks in, looking happy. Hey Jane, what's up? Need signatures for the holiday party? I don't smile. Gary is there in the corner. Sit down, Matt. The mood shifts instantly. He sits, looks between me and Gary. Is everything okay? I fold my hands. Matt, we've received a number of serious complaints regarding your conduct. He laughs, nervous. Complaints? From who? My team? We protect the anonymity of our reporters, I say robotically. The complaints demonstrate a pattern of gender-based discrimination, creating a hostile operational environment and intimidation. His jaw drops. Intimidation? I bought them donuts yesterday. Buying silence, I say sharply. Matt, we are placing you on administrative leave effective immediately pending an investigation. Hand over your badge and laptop. He stands up, face red. This is insanity. I've given 15 years to this place. I know every wire in this building. Who is saying this? Please do not make this harder, Gary says. If you raise your voice, security will escort you. Matt looks at me, eyes wide, confused, hurt. Jane, you know me. I opened the door for you this morning. Exactly, I say coldly. He stares for a second. Then the light goes out of his eyes. He hands over the badge. He hands over the laptop. He walks out, escorted by security. I watch from the window as he walks to his car, carrying a cardboard box. I turn to the Queen's chat. Target neutralized. Drinks on me tonight. We celebrate. We talk about how the office feels lighter already. The air is cleaner, Hazel says. I believe her. I really believe we saved the company. 3 months post-Matt. The high has worn off. Reality is setting in. Ops is a disaster. Turns out Matt wasn't just holding doors, he was holding the entire framework together in his head. We promoted a guy named Jacob to replace him temporarily. Jacob is 26, one of our allies. Great vocabulary, uses all the right buzzwords, terrible at logistics. Shipments are late, clients are screaming. Carol is stressed. She comes to my desk. Jane, Retention in ops is tanking. 2 of the senior guys quit last week. They were part of the old guard, I say dismissively. We're weeding out the toxic elements. It's painful but necessary. Carol doesn't look convinced. We lost the telecom account because the server migration failed. Matt used to handle that personally. We can hire consultants, I say. This is a transition period. The vibe in the office is weird. Paranoia. Men have stopped talking to women almost entirely, unless it's strictly work-related and recorded via email. No more jokes, no more casual coffees. The boys sit in silence, headphones on. Hazel complains in the chat. Why is it so dead in here? It's like a morgue, I type. They're sulking because they can't belittle us anymore. Let them pout. But it's not just pouting, it's malicious compliance. I ask a guy from IT to fix my chair. He sends me a ticket form. Please fill this out, approved by your manager. Used to be they'd just come over with a screwdriver. Now everything is bureaucratic armor. Emily is struggling. I asked Dave for help with the code, and he said he didn't want to mansplain, so he sent me a manual link instead. I frown. He's weaponizing our language. Emily. I know, but I actually needed help. The manual is 500 pages. Read it, I snap. Empower yourself. She goes quiet. I'm stressed. Upper management is asking questions about the firing. Apparently Matt's severance was denied because it was for cause, gross misconduct. So we saved the company $150K in severance. Big win, right? Wednesday morning, I'm at my desk. Reception calls. Jane, there's a server here for you. A server? Like IT? No, a process server. Stomach drops. I walk to the lobby. Guy hands me a thick envelope. Jane Smith? Yes. You've been served. He hands another one to the receptionist for the company. I open it. Civil lawsuit. Matt J versus Reltique Logistics, Jane Smith, Hazel Miller, and Does 1 through 10. Causes of action, wrongful termination, defamation of character, tortious interference with contract, conspiracy to defame. I laugh. Nervous laugh. He's suing me personally, not just the company. I read further. Damages sought, $5 million, plus punitive damages. I run to Gary's office. He's already reading his copy. He looks pale. Gary, this is a joke, right? A SLAP suit? We can dismiss this? Gary looks up. He's sweating. Jane, did you actually interview the other women in his department? Or did you just infer their discomfort? I did vibe checks, I stammer. I extrapolated from the culture. Gary throws the paper down. He hired Strelnikov. Who? Vasily Strelnikov, the nastiest employment lawyer in the state. He eats HR directors for breakfast. He doesn't take cases he can't win. But we have the dossier, I yell. Gary looks at me with dead eyes. Jane, holding a door isn't illegal. Being annoying isn't illegal. Unless you have proof of harassment or discrimination, hard proof. We are in trouble. I have the bagel thing. Creating dependency. Gary puts his head in his hands. Get out of my office. And don't delete anything. If you delete one email, one Slack message, you go to jail. Do you understand? Litigation hold. I walk out, knees shaking, go to the Queen's chat. Hazel. I got a letter at my house, my parents' house. What is this? Jess. Me too. I'm freaking out. I type. Calm down, it's a scare tactic. He's bluffing, but I know he's not bluffing. 6 months later, the office is a shell. Operations are fully outsourced now because we couldn't stabilize it. Costs are up 40%. My bonus is gone, but that's the least of my worries. Today is the deposition. I'm in a conference room in a fancy law firm downtown. Mahogany table, video camera pointed at my face, court reporter typing everything. Strelnikov is across from me. He looks like a shark in a $5,000 suit. Gary is next to me, but he's barely spoken to me in weeks. The company's strategy is shifting. I can feel it. They're distancing themselves from me. Strelnikov starts. Ms. Jane, you stated in your report that the plaintiff physically blocked the entrance to the building. Is that correct? Yes, I say, voice trembling slightly. He held the door. He held the door open for you to pass through? Yes. But it was the power dynamic. He forced us to acknowledge him. Strelnikov looks at a paper. Did he touch you? No. Did he say anything inappropriate? He called us ladies. Is that a slur in your view? It is reductive. It classifies us by gender. Strelnikov pauses, smiles a shark smile. Let's look at Exhibit C. He slides a piece of paper across. It's a printout of the Naive the Queen's Slack channel. My blood freezes. Where did you get this? I whisper. Subpoena, Ms. Jane. Current discovery rules are very broad, especially when conspiracy is alleged. He puts on gold reading glasses. On October 14th, you wrote, "We need to cook something up to get rid of the boomer," correct? Silence. Gary kicks me under the table. Answer, he hisses. I was venting. You were venting about fabricating a cause for termination. No, I meant we need to find the evidence that I knew was there. And then user Hazel replies. I can say he was staring at me in the elevator. Who's going to prove he wasn't? I feel sick. I promised Hazel that chat was safe. And you replied with a fire emoji. Did you reprimand Hazel for suggesting perjury? It was a joke, I croak. Joke, Strelnikov repeats. So when you filed the official report claiming inappropriate looking, was that also a joke? No, that was based on feelings. Based on the lie you workshopped in a chat room called The Queen's, I can't breathe. The camera is zooming in on my sweat. Strelnikov pulls out another sheet. Here is a salary calculation. Matt made $145,000 a year. He supported a wife with MS and 2 kids in college. You knew this? HR has access to files, I mutter. Strelnikov leans in. You knew he was the sole provider, and you bragged here on November 2nd. Hope he likes unemployment. Maybe he can grill recreationally now, followed by a laughing skull emoji. It was unprofessional. I admit that. It was malicious, Ms. Jane. You targeted a man with a spotless 15-year record because you didn't like his vibe. You colluded with your friends to exaggerate and fabricate claims, and you cost your company, my client estimates, about $2 million in lost logistics contracts. Gary covers his face. Strelnikov drops the hammer. We are going to settle, Ms. Jane. The company is going to pay Matt a very large sum of money, but part of our condition for settlement is a public retraction of the defamation. He looks at me with disgust, and Matt insisted on one more thing. He wants you to apologize, on the record. I look at Gary. Gary doesn't look back. Answer the question. Gary says. I start to cry. Not fake tears, real, terrified tears. I'm sorry, I whisper, louder for the camera. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Matt didn't harass anyone. Strelnikov nods. We're done here. 2 days later, Friday, Carol calls me into her office. The real HR director is there, not me, the VP of HR. The big boss from HQ. She's a woman. Stern, cold, 60s. She doesn't care about my buzzwords. Sit down, Jane. I sit. Carol looks at the desk. Effective immediately, your employment is terminated for cause. I knew it was coming, but it still hits like a truck. For cause? I argue. Weak. I was doing my job. I was protecting the culture. The VP speaks up. You created a toxic, hostile work environment, Jane. You bullied a protected class, age, and you exposed the company to massive liability. You utilized company resources to conspire against a fellow employee. But the sexism. The only sexism we found in the discovery documents was directed at men. The VP says. You called the IT department incels. You called Matt a phallic-obsessed relic. It's all there. I see, I say. Can I pack my things? Security has already packed them. They are in a box at the front desk. The symmetry burns. I hand over my badge, my laptop. I walk out, past the open plan office. Everyone is watching, not with admiration, but with fear and awkwardness. I see Emily. She looks down at her keyboard. She gave a statement against me to save herself. I don't blame her. I taught her that survival is everything. Hazel was fired this morning too. Jess yesterday. The Queen's is broken. I get to the lobby. It's raining. Of course it's raining. I pick up my box. It's heavy. I struggle with the box in my purse. I get to the heavy glass doors. I try to push the door open with my hip while holding the box. It's stuck or heavy. I'm struggling, looking pathetic. A man walks up behind me. Tall, business suit, maybe 50. He sees me struggling. He hesitates. I see him look at my box. Then he looks at my face. He steps back. He doesn't hold the door. He waits for me to shove it open myself, stumbling into the rain. He waits until I am fully clear before he touches the door handle. He's terrified to help me, because of people like me. I stand on the curb. I see a car pull up, a sleek black Tesla. Matt steps out. He's meeting someone for lunch nearby. He sees me, standing there in the rain with my box of sad office plants. He pauses. I brace myself for the insult. I brace for him to laugh. He doesn't. He just looks at me with a mix of pity and indifference. Then he turns to the person he's meeting, a young woman, probably a client. He opens the restaurant door for her. "After you," he says. She smiles. "Thanks, Matt." They go inside. Warm light spills out onto the street. I am left in the cold. I check my phone. Notification from LinkedIn. Matt Johnson has started a new position as VP of Global Operations at TechFlow. The post has 5,000 likes. I stare at the screen. I realize I have $400 in my checking account. I realize I have no references. I realize that in the real world, competence actually matters. I start to cry. Not a strategic cry, not a manipulation tactic, just a raw, ugly realization that I played the game and lost everything. I drop my salt lamp in a puddle. It dissolves. Just like my career. I get in my Corolla. It won't start. Battery is dead. I sit there, staring at the rain on the windshield, my face when I realized the glass ceiling was just a door I was too proud to open myself.